Hey, welcome to the 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show. Hope you're doing well today. I say that every day, but I do wish it. And today I want to say be brave, adjust scope. Too many project managers and program managers and leaders and Scrum Masters and product owners are scared to death to adjust scope or request to adjust scope to meet time and cost constraints because time and costs are fixed. I don't care what anybody says. The only thing that's adjustable is scope. And this goes off a X post by Vasco Duarte, who is the Scrum Master toolbox host. And he posted on X the other day about how estimates don't help with cost and schedule. And I said, it's not that. It's the fact that program managers and project managers are too scared to adjust scope. And I'm going to get into that today here on our for our Thursday, where we talk about requirements, reviews, retros, and roles. So part of this is the requirements because requirements are scope. We're going to talk about that today on the show and kind of reference, always trying to do something relevant to what people post in the previous day or within time that makes sense to keep it relevant. Anyway, 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show. I am Greg Mester, Scrum Master and Agile Coach. And here we talk about Scrum and Agile in a very practical, tactical way. So you can bring more value to the customer, spend less time bringing that value to the customer, and have more fun along the way. So if you saw the intro image on this, the thumbnail, you'll see Bubbles. Now, you could debate whether Bubbles is being brave or being terrorized and wants to run away. And it depends on how you look at product owners, program managers, leaders when it comes to scope. Are they scared or are they trying to run away? And sometimes you get a little bit of both. They're too scared to adjust scope or ask the customer want to change things or what's going on based on what's going to be delivered. Or they are brave enough to do that, right? Which one are they? And I would say a lot of them are not brave at all. They cower. Leaders cower. Everyone cowers to the scope, and they don't understand the nuances, right? And what I'm going to go in today is a little bit of the nuances to help you succeed. That's been my secret sauce for all my years of program management, project management, being a Scrum Master, being a coach, being a leader, whatever I had to do, is the ability to adjust scope, what is needed. Now, I'm going to say this. So the other day I was talking about this and how this post, and I'm going to do the show, and I had someone say, well, what about you just adjust like quality, quality in the scope and all. I want to make a clarification here that most people, there's Bubbles. Hi, Bubbles, you're back. You want to see the kitty in the picture? But most people don't understand. Quality is not scope. Okay, I want to make that perfectly clear. I might have to do a whole show on this one day. But quality, and I think I've done this before, engineering practices, how you do your business, the quality of your business, your procedures and all that aren't part of scope unless you are actually part of your story or your effort is to change the procedure. Then it's not part of it. And what so many people don't understand, they think, well, if I limit scope or I got to meet this time constraint or this cost constraint, I got to eliminate quality or I got to eliminate a engineering practice. You never eliminate an engineering practice or quality aspect to meet time or cost, because in the end, it'll cost you 10 times more money. You're going to have more bugs and more pissed off customers when you eliminate those things. And people don't understand that. They think, and when people write requirements of business people, because I wrote specs for the government for years. And they're like, okay, well, this is a process thing. We want to put that in the requirements. It's like, no, that is supposed to be a natural occurrence in the team. And teams need to work out. Maybe we'll do that another show. We'll do on a We Team Wednesday. We'll talk about engineering practices and quality and how they are a base platform from which to build your scope. Should never be in the scope contract. So when they talk about eliminating scope, I am not talking about eliminating engineering practice or quality efforts that you would normally do to deliver product. Never, never, never. So please don't ever think that. Greg Mester said that. Greg Mester says, if you do, you're a fool. Okay? If you eliminate your engineering practices or your quality efforts in order to deliver something on time for what your schedule is or based on cost, you're full. Look at Boeing. Boeing's totally blown it all. They don't think so. We're untouchable, but you know what? Not everyone's untouchable. So sooner or later it'll catch up to you, no matter where you are. If we're the lowest person in the organization, all the way up to the CEO of the company, sooner or later, ignoring or minimizing, that's not part of your scope. Okay, so let's talk about scope. When we design things in Scrum and Agile, and even in project management, I'm sorry, no matter what you're doing, I know I see part of this whole thing that Vasco Duarte posted was because PMI and Agile Alliance are kind of joining forces a little bit and getting together. And there's a big pushback on the project management and the schedule and the estimates and all that. And all that's flaring up now. It's starting a whole kind of chat up there. If you're not following X and all the things, you're missing out. It's kind of interesting conversations going on. But his point was doing better estimates, which some people think that's what project managers do. They do estimates. That's part of the job, but it's not really all the job. So they're under expression like, oh, estimates are better. Why? I like estimates, but I use them with reality. I'm not unrealistic on my estimates because I know what they do. I'm not naive, right? Oh, this is my estimate. Yeah, okay. What does that mean? Gives you an idea where you can go from there if you set. Now, here's why I say time is fixed. Let's say you're delivering something, software or new product, or you get your store ready in your business, your mom and pop shop. Now, holidays are coming. Let's say I'm going to use Christmas as an example, okay? Not to offend anybody, I'm going to use Christmas because everyone's adopted Christmas to give away presents. Depending where you're in the world, it'll be different holidays. You exchange presents, whatever, or you get your shop ready for that. Do you think it's a good idea to miss the time constraint of Christmas to have your shop open or a new product line open or have something that wasn't there the year before but is here this year so they can buy it and you can make money? Because if they bought it last year, are they going to buy it this year? No, they're not. Just sorry. I mean, unless you have an annual review and it's a subscription thing or whatever, but there's no encouragement to buy more product from you. Maybe the same product, but not more. No, nothing like that. So time is fixed. You can't change that, right? Cost. I don't care where you are. Your costs are fixed. Everyone budgets for amount of money to expend. Now, can you get money from other places? Yes. However, getting more money and resources doesn't necessarily fix the time problem, okay? The reason why I say that, it just gets more complex. Can you imagine? I got cat hair flying everywhere. Bubbles, go lay down. You add another team to the process. Okay, instead of one team, now you got two teams, right? So now with two teams, there's more communication, more complexity, more people, more personalities. How to exchange stuff, who's got what. You're making everything more complex. So just because you add more money or more resources to a problem doesn't help you make the time restraint, right? It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to make scope. I'm sorry about that. I had to take a break. Bubbles over here just shedding up like crazy. Would you lay down? I just sucked in a cat hair. Man, what's up with the cat? Anyway, it's winter. It's cold. So it doesn't help make up that time nor the budget. One, it kills the budget, right? You went way above costs. But adding more people doesn't fix the problem because that just increased costs, right? So the only thing you can do, and my secret to all my successes in project management, is to eliminate scope, right? If I see stuff, like I try to shape the requirements and what we're doing and the scope of the activities to what can be delivered in that time period. Now, as people build things or hey, it would be nice if we put all these 5-10 things on a store shelf, or we built these 10 things on our website. Odds are you're not going to get all 10 things. Now, they might say we want all 10 things, but you got to think of what can we sell what can we give to the customer as a whole? If we want to do a new capability, do we do 10 new capabilities? I don't know what she's just trying me nuts. There goes the tail. What do you do, right? Now, what I would negotiate with is that some things we wouldn't do, right? I would say, well, we'll get these 2 products on there, but this 3rd product is not going to make it, right? Or something. But at least it gives something to sell. I'd rather have something to sell than meet a deadline than nothing, right? I'd rather have, like, say it's Christmas, and I would rather have 3 things. I'd rather make sure I got 2 things I can sell that are new to the client than no things, right? So you can stick with the scope, not make your date, not have anything to sell, and no revenue to prove from it. I can deliver 2 things and get revenue based on those 2 things. So you really got to think about adjusting scope. And part of this is coming to me because I am doing that right now. I got blockers in my brain, try and deliver, make some website stuff. I got to do. I got a lot of things I want to offer to everyone and share with my clients, but I can't do it all, right? So I had to start stripping out, and I found ways to hide it, just some feature toggling. What can I do now, and what can I get out there to offer people? And part of that process, why this drummed in my head, just reminded me, is like, my skill was focusing on what can be delivered and getting it to the customer versus giving everything. Like when I did tags back in the day, they wanted this, that, and the other thing. Temperatures, shock, transmission, satellite, all this stuff. Like, look, how about we just read what's going on, give us some temperature, location. Maybe we could do humidity because those are cheap. Just transmit it through the battery, and some people were trying to do it every 30 seconds. And I talked to the captain, and he's like, no. I said, how about if I give it to you once a day? And he's like, oh, that'd be awesome, because he didn't have visibility at all. So I told the engineers, I said, how about just once an hour? Will that give me 5 years of battery life? And they're like, yeah, that'll give you 5 years of battery life. We'll be fine, no problem. So I fixed it, right? So I changed the scope of the issue. They over-interpreted, and that would probably be another episode somewhere about overdoing and over-designing. But those are the kind of things where you adjust scope. To me, they may think it has to last forever, has to do all this stuff. It's like, no, deliver some stuff, then make another release later on, because you know what will be nice? You get some new clients, they got some new products they can sell. In a couple months, offer them another product or another capability, then they might buy more product a couple months from now in the next quarter, right? But at least you're continuously giving them new stuff to see what they want to purchase from you or use from you, right? Or make their lives easier. It's better to get something like, if you're internal, to help make it more efficient for people during their peak season. Let's say I got 3 things that help during a peak season, like the new year, new buys, new Christmas, whatever it would be, that the orders are going to come, and they're going to have to do all this manual stuff. And I have 3 ideas that I can do to help reduce the manual work. If I get you 1, that's 33% savings in the manual work that you had overall, right? And I could deliver it, and you can have it, and you can save 33% of your time. It's like I'm doing that 5 a.m. wake up thing. What would you do if I gave you 33% of your time back, or whatever that was? Let's say it takes you 2 hours a week, or maybe a whole week to process all this stuff because you got so many things to do. And I save you a day or 2 on all that processing. What would you do with that extra day? Find something new to sell, right? That's what they would be doing. Or contacting new customers, marketing something, growing the base with that extra day that they had. That's what they're supposed to be doing anyhow. So think about this. It's not about estimates because they make us better at focusing time, better at focusing cost. Estimates are something else, but adjust your scope. You want the estimate to give you a time for when they can sell or market it. Or we had to buy ad space in Boston for something I did before, but we had a deadline to make. So we had to make it work for that deadline because we already bought the ad space, newspapers, print, stuff like that when people used to reprint. So adjust your scope, right? Scope is adjustable. Don't be scared. Go and talk to your stakeholders, whatever, adjust your scope. You're not going to adjust time. You're not going to adjust cost, but you can adjust scope, and you can always deliver more. They make more revenue in. They can hire you on the next release to do more of the scope, right? That's how it works. You bring revenue and you spend revenue to make more revenue in a continued process. So with that, I'm going to wish you a happy scrumming, a great day. Stay warm. It was 21 degrees this morning at 5 a.m. in the morning. It's cold. I think Jerry went back underneath the covers. And I want to wish you the best. Bubble says, hey, she's finally relaxed. Cat fur everywhere. But have a great day. Happy scrumming. See you soon. Remember, be brave. Adjust your scope. Don't back down so quickly. That's the best advice I can give you. For good leaders, they don't back down right away. Take care, everyone, and see ya. Bye.